Okay, time back in. I thought for sure the cop was gonna come and check on me. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was a SUV cop driving off the road, going off into the trails. There's got to be a reason. They don't just do that for no reason. I miss my bikes. Every time I hear a bike or see a bike, I miss mine, but I'm having just as much fun on this. That's all I can say. I'm definitely having fun. Okay, what was I babbling about? My COPD. So I'll try and get back to that. Well, there's not too much wind, so hopefully you can hear me. So anyway, when I was diagnosed with COPD, at the time, I couldn't do anything without oxygen. Even just sitting in bed with the oxygen, I couldn't count how many times I thought I was done. Every time I went into the hospital, I never thought I was coming out. The last time I was in, I really didn't think I was coming out. I had to do all the DNR and all the rest of the paperwork they have you fill out when they think your end of life is coming, which I won't go there. You're going to have to make your own decisions. But anyway, I never thought I would be doing what I'm doing right now. I know it might look like I'm not sick and there's nothing wrong with me, but I'm sitting still, and the only really exertion is talking, which does take my breath away too. I can barely walk up and down the stairs. I have to stop and recover. I have my albuterol inhaler with me everywhere I go. I still have my oxygen, my nebulizers, my albuterols, and all the other stuff that you have to live with when you have COPD. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, tinnitus. I have constant ringing in my ears. There's a lot more. So being able to get out here and enjoy my one true passion, which is riding, to me is the biggest treat. So when I was first diagnosed, I was in South Carolina. I was living healthcare aide for a very, very cool guy, a paraplegic that I had been pretty much his 24/7 living healthcare aide for close to 10 years. We were here in New York when he had a kind of dispute with his wife, and he wanted to just get away from that environment. But being a paraplegic, it was either be moved into a VA hospital or an assisted living home, or find someone that would be his 24/7 healthcare aide, somebody that had to be with him 24/7 in case there was a fire or anything. He couldn't get in and out of bed or really do much of anything. He was really trapped in bed. But anyway, about 6 years ago, he was diagnosed with cancer, and a couple weeks after we found out he had cancer, I was having really bad breathing attacks. I went into the hospital, and that's when they found out I had COPD, which I would not wish on anyone. The feeling of not being able to breathe is very, very, very scary. It was really the first time in my life I had been sick. The first time I had to call 911 and go into the hospital for anything besides getting stitches for doing stupid stuff. But anyway, not long after he passed away, I didn't really want to be in South Carolina. I hated South Carolina. I didn't really want to. I really did not want to live in South Carolina because of the hot. He wanted to go there to be with his family, so that's why I ended up in South Carolina. And that's why I started my channels with the scooters. One of the main reasons I only did night vids is because I couldn't leave him alone, so we had to get an aide that would come in once in a while for an hour or two just to give me a break so I could go on out on the scooters. So that's when I started doing the scooter channels. Most of my vids on my prepping channel I had done inside. So if you watch any of mine on the Knife Maker 123, I did a lot of prepping vids and bug out bag vids. And I know I babble a lot, but I'm filling the airtime and I don't know what else to do with the cam, so I'm going to take my friend's advice and just talk to you guys. Hopefully, maybe one or two of you with COPD that just caught the title, if you're stuck in bed like I am 90% of the time, my babbling might be something new for you to listen to. I mean, YouTube was pretty much my life. That's all I could do. I hated cable. So really I had no life while I was with him because I had to be in the apartment with him 24/7. So when I could get out once in a while on the scooters or my Gram, my ZZR, my hoverboards, I had my room was filled with toys. When I had an hour that I could get out and play, I would just grab something and go out in the parking lot and play while the aide was there. So anyway, after that, I wanted to come back home, and home to me is Rochester, New York. That's where I was born and raised, and that's where I'm back now. This is where I was born and grew up. This is where I want to be. Okay, anyway, I got to get into a happy subject because I don't want to crash and cry at the same time. But that's okay. Nothing wrong with letting it out. I mean, that's being stuck with a condition that limits everything you do. I mean, walking across my bedroom just to go out of my bedroom to go to the bathroom. When I come back, I have to sit down for 10 minutes and just slow breathe. Going up and down the stairs, just going down the stairs to get to my bike, to get to this. By the time I get downstairs, I have to just sit and breathe, take a couple puffs off my albuterol and just sit and recover. Then I take my time getting the bike and getting the bike outside, another break to recover, and I can catch my breath a little bit. I get the bike outside, and while I'm sitting on the bike, I don't know if you guys have watched all my vids or my babbling, but I started riding when I was 6. I'm 63 now, so over 55 years of riding experience. So I'm really not exerting myself. I know how to balance a bike, I know how to ride a bike, and I'm only going 13, so this really is not strenuous at all. There's a lot of people that think because I'm riding the bike, I'm not sick, but I'm not pedaling, I'm not pushing, I'm not walking. I'm just basically sitting still and holding the thumb throttle down and babbling. So for anyone that does have COPD, I'm not sure how it works. The doctors did say, well, I quit smoking. I started smoking when I was 9, so over 50 years of smoking is what killed my lungs with everything else I've been doing. they said there was a small chance that my lungs would start healing, which I thought was complete BS. They were just saying it to be nice. But 6 to 8 months ago, I stopped needing the oxygen less and less. I stopped needing the albuterol nebulizer treatments less and less. And I just slowly started getting better. My cardiologist found the clonidine patch that I've been on for the high blood pressure. So I put that patch on once a week, and now my blood pressure has been consistent, just down between 120 and 130. And I've just progressively started feeling better and better. I did start with the power chair. I got the power chair, which you can see in the vid, and I hated that. It to me was like accepting that I was already gone and not able to do anything else. I hated the idea of being pushed in a wheelchair, and I thought, what the heck, I got this and the bike for my son. And I really didn't think I was going to be able to do it. Then voila, I did. Hi. So if you go back and watch my first video with the bike, you can see how much I've improved just a small time since then. I'm trying to be out every night that I can, that the weather allows, which I had to come out tonight because tomorrow the smoke from the fires in Canada are supposed to hit here, and there's no way I can be outside when the air quality is that bad. That would kill me, and I really can't wear respirators. It wouldn't be really too much fun to be out with a respirator on. And I hope I'm still recording. God, I hate to look down and the cam's off or it's not still recording. I'm just driving around babbling to myself, which I do a lot anyway. Which again, it's what my friend said, talk to the other victims, have COPD or other conditions, and just try and talk to them. Tell them how you're doing, what you can do, what you can't do, which I really can't do anything at all that's strenuous, nothing. When I go back on the bike, by the time I get back 8, 9 o'clock at night, I always wait to go on out till like 7 at night. That's when it's kind of, it gets slow. Everybody's either out of work or out of school, and they're done doing the stuff, and it's not as busy. I don't want anything to do with traffic. Wow, it is windy. So I hope you guys can still hear me. Anyway, by the time I get back and in my videos, I'm done for the night. I have to sit and lay in bed. And I forgot to add, I have all this basically in the past year. I found out the long list of stuff that's wrong with me. I have acid reflux, lactose intolerant. So being Italian, everything that I loved, pizza, spaghetti, all that hot sauces, fast food, all that stuff is done. So I can't eat anything I like anymore. Wow, it is windy. Holy cow, it just suddenly got really windy, which feels good. Feels good because here it's 90 plus degrees, So, moving with a light breeze feels really good. Another reason I wait to ride later in the day when it starts to cool down. Now, if I was back home where I grew up, right in really close to the city where they have street lights, I would be waiting till like 10, 11 o'clock at night before I went out. But around where I am now, there's no street lights. There's no sidewalks. I mean, you see very, very few sidewalks, so I'm really kind of trapped to where I can go. I just make big loops around the same streets. But I haven't explored all the trails. I did say I didn't want to do that alone, just in case. And my son's not thrilled with anything to do with the bikes anymore. He's home on Steam, playing his games. He just said, yeah, whatever, my phone's on, just in case. So yes, you do have COPD and you go out, make sure, off on the side, make sure you tell someone so they know that you're out and to keep their phone on in case you have to call for help. And yes, always carry your phone. Make sure that it's charged up. That's a priority. I don't care where I go or what I do, I carry my phone and my albuterol rescue inhaler. Those, even if I go to the bathroom, because having a breathing attack is really scary. And then you start to panic. It makes it exponentially worse for being able to try and control your breathing, which is not fun. So I always got my phone on me and the albuterol. Trying to look at the can to see if I'm even showing anything. I'm not getting any comments yet, so I think a few people are watching, but I don't know how long you're watching for, if the quality or me babbling is not getting the views, or what I'm doing. So this is just as much for me as it is for anyone that might be watching. So if you are still watching, thank you. I really don't have any friends, so this is kind of another form of therapy for me, besides being outside and getting a little bit of exercise, which I am. I can feel it in my arms, my neck, my legs, my calves, but that's from being just sitting in bed for the past four or so years, after being active my whole life riding bikes, and just wow. Yeah, that was kind of the worst part the past few years, is not being able to do anything that I enjoy doing or have enjoyed doing. Woods crafting, going out in the woods. I love the woods. I love camping. Just playing out in the woods, playing on the bikes. I have never not had a bike since I was 6. When I was 6, my father got me a homemade 3-wheeler mini bike thing, as long as the car. But anyway, I've never not had something to ride since. I've always had bikes. Everything that you could name, I've had. And now finding these e-bikes, these are some of the most enjoyable two-wheeled ride-on toys that I've ever had. It's not the same rush as a dirt bike, but being able to just cruise around now that, again, with COPD and the rest of the stuff, where I can't do anything strenuous, I'm out here every day, and I plan on being out every day that the weather permits, making videos, even if it's just for myself, just to give me something to do besides sitting in the house watching YouTube. And that's kind of surprising because I'm getting sick of watching YouTube videos, so I'm out making a YouTube video. So, I just hope the sound is good enough for you guys to hear me. So I'm going to cruise back up and around to see if the cop is still there. Oh, there's something else I want to do, so hang on, be right back.